Welcome to the PNP podcast. I'm Peter.
And I'm Paul. And guess what, Peter? I got us a new intro.
You know what?
Ladies and gentlemen, drag queens, take your mark. The dance floor is now open.
Dance floor is now. Oh, this is our dance floor. I guess it is.
You got to get up and dance for us now?
Yeah, Saturday night. Where were you last night?
Yeah.
I went to Home Depot. Where'd you go?
I was watching a movie at home and chilling out.
See?
No.
That's what we do.
You get older and your life becomes boring, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But so, what are we going to chat about this week?
Well, let's see. Let's start. I didn't do my. I'm going to give you a Sunday mantra. So this is from Louise Hay, my calendars that I do every day. It says Sunday, November 17th. I am neither too little nor too much, and I do not have to prove myself to anyone. I'm okay as I am. That's a good one.
There you have it. Yeah. And people should be okay. I mean, last week we talked about the election and its effect on the LGBT community, and and that's a good part what you said. What was the ending to that again? I'm okay with myself. Is that what it said, right? So, and that's what you have to. Yeah, and that's what you got to believe in. You got to be okay with yourself. I mean, you have to be. You're the only you've got.
And we're done talking about Donald Duck. Yeah, I called it out. Call him Donald Duck. Okay, I'm done with it.
Yeah, we're no longer going to let him do what he's going to do when he's going to do. You know what I mean? And that's going to be that. Like I said, let's be thankful. It's just 4 years, people. We've been through worse storms. I'll continue to say that. So we'll go forward. So I believe we're talking about something. How would I say it? It's not taboo, I guess. Something we need to do, right? Manscaping.
I would have to say, if this is not a gay thing, this is a man thing, because I know many straight men that actually manscape, athletes.
I mean, that's why it's not called gayscaping. It's called manscaping for a reason. Yeah, sounds like, wait, what's that song? Not everybody does it, but everybody should.
Oh, he's bringing the music up in here.
Yes, I did. So anyways, it's manscaping. You're right. It's both heterosexual and homosexual. Those should be the words. Maybe even lesbian. I don't know. Depends how they feel about that. But yeah, keeping yourself maintained in the lower and upper region, maybe not so much the upper region, but definitely the lower region, has a lot of reasons why you should do it. But we'll go this. We'll say, Paulie, what are the reasons why you do it?
Well, I do it actually. I'm French, so I'm fairly, my hair tends to grow. And personally, I mean, we know that hair under your armpits, your crotch area, your body, basically, it actually holds bacteria, which creates an odor. I don't know if people realize that, but when you your armpits stink, it's not the sweat. It's the bacteria that's on the hair follicles that actually you're smelling. So
Gross.
it's just fresh, clean, and I don't want no dingleberries. Yeah, I said it.
I can't believe, I don't think I've ever had any dingleberries. Thank goodness for that. Probably because I manscape, but nonetheless. All right, so when you manscape, how much of you do you scape?
Well, interesting. You said just down there, I literally shave my whole body.
Well, remember, I'm part Indian, so I don't have hair anywhere.
Right. See, I have it on my chest. I don't have it on my back.
I don't have it on my back. The only place I have it is down there. I have it nowhere else. And on top of my head, thank God. But, that's a good place to have it. Okay, so you manscape, why again?
I manscape for more of a hygiene, but it's just a preference. I like smooth. I guess I like my body smooth.
Do you manscape at all? Do you take it all down?
I take it right off.
Yeah.
Bring me baby back. I'm going back to the baby back. I like a nice smooth. I mean, I'm telling you, my pubic hair, my legs, my balls, my a-hole. I mean, everything. My armpits, my arms.
Really?
Everything. Yep.
I only shave I trim down there. I shave everything else as close as I can, basically bald, but I keep the top part trimmed. I don't like it. I think it looks too weird if it was all shaven. I just think it would be too weird. To me, it's too weird. It's too weird on some guys when it's all shaved down there and everything's gone. It's a little weird, you know. I don't know if people think it enhances their size better. I don't know. I just think it looks weird, really. I mean, what? Well, without getting into anything sexual, you know what I mean? I just think it's more appealing if a man has something there, you know, as opposed to nothing. But I don't know. Maybe that's just a preference.
Yeah, it's a visual aesthetic because honestly, I know that there's some guys like a landing strip. So a gay straight reference, a landing strip. They like
A
some
landing
guys
strip.
like smooth baby. Like bringing back to your youth. I think it's a preference. What you like because
It's a preference. It is.
I do
So
like
the
a hairy
thing,
man.
yeah, exactly. So the thing about it is just to, you don't have to get rid of it all. You just shouldn't let it get into this wild safari. You know what I mean? It should have some control. I mean, if you're a straight, burly guy, construction worker, and that's how your woman likes it, well then, hey. Because there are some guys out there who will say, you know what, don't shave down there because I don't like it if you do. And I've met some guys who were like that. I'm like, I don't know about that. I'm sorry, buddy boy, but I got the trim down there. I can't do that. I can't just let it grow and do whatever it wants to do. I just, I don't know. I don't think it's sanitary or
And
hygienically.
I'll say it, you won't, but I will. If you're having sex and you're going down and you're pulling hair out of your teeth, that
Oh,
ain't fun.
God, you did not just go there.
That's
Okay, so
PG-17.
yeah. All right, let's talk technique then, shall we?
Okay.
Let's talk
You
technique.
go
So
first.
you first. You use a razor, I hear, a regular razor, right?
Are you ready? You're going to give me about 10 minutes because I think I could take my shirt off. Is that okay? Is that not?
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay.
They've
All
done
right.
worse on video.
I'm going to give you an actual pictorial because you see, I literally have I did this after our last podcast, I did it. So the technique is, and I'm going to show you the technique. I have a regular razor. Now it's not plugged in yet because the plug's way back there, but I have it in my little room. But this is an actual razor to shave your head.
Right.
So what I do is first, and this is the key, and these people who don't like baby powder are going to come at me, but I will baby powder my whole body with just Johnson & Johnson baby powder, and I take my shaver with no guide, and I will literally go, because after the baby powder, it actually goes right over your skin, and I'll take off most of the hair. Most of it will come off. When you're down near your anatomy, yeah, if you're down there, you got to be careful because you don't want to cut or nick that. So I always just
you don't.
close to it, take off as much hair as I can. Now the key after that, there's a couple things here. The baby powder makes sure you don't get actually any like razor bumps. But what I take is, here goes Gillette, and I'm going to do a shout out to Gillette because I know they've got a hair trimmer now. They actually just came out with one.
Yeah,
but I use a regular disposable razor. And people think I'm crazy, but when you have the baby powder on your skin, the razor will then float right over your arms, your armpits. It literally floats right in there. Your chest.
Danger.
Oh, no, it's not.
Robinson.
I'm telling you, with the baby powder in the metal, it just glides across. And the key when you're doing your balls and your penis.
Yeah, that's the danger zone.
I'm going to tell you something, and people think I'm crazy, but you want to have it erect because you want it hard because you want everything to be. I'm sorry you have to say this because I don't want somebody to come back and cut themselves and blame me. It has to be erect. Your balls have to be kind of tight because you're going to roll around your balls.
The only way your balls are going to be tight is if you are, how's it work for men? You have to be cold. If you're cold, then your balls will tighten up. If you're warm, they will relax.
Right. So you want everything to kind of be tight and erect in essence.
How do you get your balls to tighten up? What, do you put some ice on them?
When I'm in my room, don't make it so warm in the room. Make it a little cool, like you said. So it's going to be cold.
Right.
And another key thing that I'm going to mention, because me and my partner, when I had a partner 10 years ago, we used to shave each other. And I will tell you, it causes
cool. I would do that.
a lot of trust. You got to trust this person. But we would put down a sheet on the bed, do the baby powder. He would shave me, and I would shave him because it's hard to do your butthole. It's not the easiest place to get to. And if it's a lot of trust you got to have in your partner, and you can do this. Straight people can do this. Your girlfriend can do it. I mean, you better trust her, but she can do it for you
Hopefully she's
because
not Lorena.
you want to cut that off. But I go back to the old school of a baby powder on your whole body. Trim with the actual shaver first, an electric shaver, and then go right down to disposable. Key thing is, after you use that disposable, throw it away. Don't try to do it again. It's a
Right.
one and done.
Right. Yeah, it won't be sharp probably. Yeah.
Right.
Well, my magical instrument, and this is a shout out to Norelco. There it is. Listen carefully. This, and I'm really particular about things. I'm the kind of guy who I will give you an honest review. I will try something out and I will be honest about it. How it works. I'm not going to lie. This right here, there's a lot of them on the market that are really expensive. This one I think was $49, so it's $50. This is an Norelco, I think $5,000. This bad boy right here, let me tell you, shaves like a dream everywhere, including the hard-to-reach butthole. You take this bad boy right here, and you just go back there, and you go, wee, gone. You can go all down, you pull, you yank, you go over, you trim, it's fabulous. Seriously, it is. And I could not, I am so pleased that I have it. I think I'll put in our links which product this is, so people, if they want to find it. I mean, we're giving shout-outs to products, which I don't know, whatever, we're doing it anyways. So, but yeah, seriously, if you were to try a razor, I mean, I know one of our friends, you know who he is, has one, but he has another version. I think he has a Manscaper or something like that. Spent a lot of money on it. He said it sucks. He should have bought this. I don't have to have an erection. I don't have to have an erection when I use this. I literally just pull my Johnson up, and then I go ahead and, and then I go that way. And when it comes to my testicles, I simply just not squeeze them, but make sure the skin is taut while I shave. You know what I'm saying? So, and this bad boy, and I can do it, huh?
It doesn't nick?
No, not at all. Nope, isn't that crazy? Not at all. I mean, it's the way you got to do it. I mean, when you're using just this part here, this head here, that's great. But if you're gonna want to trim up, the trick with this is to go with this direction. Is to go not with the grain, not against it. With the grain, not against it. Yeah, if you go with the grain, you're not gonna nick it. Not at all. I've done it so many times. Never a nick. Never a nick. So for those who like to shave with a razor, Paulie's got the solution. For those who like to shave, some of us don't have the kind of time you've got, Paulie. I got to get in there and get it done. Bye.
Well, I'll tell you, Gillette does the Manscaping. They have a tool now with the Manscaping. They just came out. I just saw a commercial actually the other night on TV.
Is it the one blade or something like that?
Yeah.
People say that one's good, but I don't know. I've heard some things about it. So, but I mean, this one I heard all good. I mean, I'll look at the reviews and they've got to be more towards favorable than unfavorable. If there's a unfavorable review, I will see what it's unfavorable about. Same with anything I buy. You know what I mean? It's the only way. Reviews, they can be reliable. I have over 30,000 people follow my reviews on Google, which is crazy. I didn't even know that because I write an honest review. So I have to honestly say, I'm not lying to you, listeners and watchers. This is a great Manscaper. And of course, Paulie's Way is great too, as long as you're cautious and you have steady hands.
Or a partner, and you have a partner to do it because it's
you can invite Paulie over. He'll do it for you.
Yeah, I always thought about a Manscaping salon.
I know.
Could you imagine?
Right? Listen.
Because it's a pain in the ass just to manscape by yourself. So if you had somebody to do it,
oh lordy.
I was starting whistle.
I don't know if I could do that though. If I could be a what would the name be? You're not a barber. What would you be? What would the name be for a person to open a manscaping salon? You be a trimmer or a bald?
I would be a trimmer, yeah. I would call it a trimmer because it's not just a man thing; it's a woman thing too. I mean, women they do that thing. What's that thing where you rip it off? Oh hell no!
Oh yeah, that's not going down there. You know what I mean? No, this doesn't really. Seriously, this does a great job. Takes you right down to the skin. I mean, as soft as can be. You know what I mean? Only reason why I like it, it's quick and easy. I mean, I used to shave with shaving cream, in a razor. But it's so time consuming. You know, you got to get in awkward positions to try to make sure you got your leg ready to head up here. You got your, you know what I mean? You got to do all these different things and just get it. I still have to put my legs in weird positions in order to shave everything because, you know, you just have to. You got to be flexible
Right.
down there.
You
But
need a spotlight too.
it works.
You got to have like a spotlight so you can see the hair. Because I do. I take a lamp, take the shade off, and I go right over here. And I've got one of my mirrors there, so I've got mirrors all over. So
You know, you got.
if you're doing it your own, it is a technique.
Yeah, you can do it with a
And
mirror.
don't rush.
And do what?
Don't
You know, don't rush.
don't rush.
Not using a razor, no.
No. Right. And I want you to realize I'm doing this dry. There is no
I know you are.
water involved
I
at
know you are.
all.
That's why I was really well, I guess I should say I'm impressed for one because that's seriously a dangerous feat. But I don't know. I wonder if your shave is closer. Your shave probably is closer, but mine's pretty darn close with this thing. I guess you know. I don't know. I guess, like I say, it's a matter of preference. If you've got the time to use razor and you like baby powder, you know, Paul's got a great suggestion. We should tell our listeners, please, you know, try this with caution, just because Paulie is really good at it right now. He's been doing it for a long time, but I wouldn't suggest you just go and try it without thinking about it first. Be careful, okay? We don't want you contacting us saying you lost your penis somewhere along the way.
Well, it can't be that small, could it be?
I'm just saying, we got to put some sort of disclaimer in there. Listen, don't try this at home. We're going to try it on the subway.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's your body. You should know your curves, and you know,
right.
I mean,
Right, who knows
your
your body better than you? Of course, you know what I mean. But I'm just saying, like I said,
doing it.
Paulie's idea is wonderful. You know, for those of you who like baby powder, but do, you know, be cautious, like Paulie said, and use a new razor.
Hey, I've got a studio. You want it? I'll come to. You know, I'll be cheap the first time. Second time, I'm charging full price.
That would, I don't know if that would actually, if that. I wonder why people have not thought of that. You know, an all, what would you call it? An all access salon? No pun intended. But you know what I mean? Where you just get the whole. You know, I bet you there's got to be some places. I bet you there's some places out there who do that. Like a really, really elite spa. I bet you. We'll have to look that up. That they probably have
I've
to
seen
take care of you down
it. I have, believe it or not, I have a few straight friends, and I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I have shaved them, and literally, you know, discreetly, nothing sexual, very professional. I have done it for them because, you know, they don't want their butt hairy either because it does, you know, when you're going to the bathroom number two.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, the things we talk about, I swear, you know. So, are we done with manscaping? Have we set our piece?
Yeah, I mean, if you want some tips, you send me a message in Messenger, or you know, this is going to be everywhere. I will give you the tips and make sure you don't hurt yourself because I agree, it's dangerous to put a razor down there, but people are doing it. I mean, I know at least somebody's done it once.
Well, it's because a lot of guys think that's the only way to get a really close shave, but it's not, though. You know, I mean, like I said, this razor, and I'm not kidding. It will bring you as close as you need to be. It's just, I'm always amazed when I use it. I'm always amazed. I'm like, wow, this razor is something else. It just is. You know?
And maybe, Peter, what you should do actually is, you know, if you Google manscaping, you come up with 3 different products. Like, hey, Gillette, you have yours. I'm sure Wall does one too, but Wall is who I use for my shaver. Wall products. I will stand behind.
See, I still
Wall
use a
products.
razor when I shave. I use a Schlick. Yeah. One of the twin blades.
See,
it's very thin.
Gillette does.
You know.
Gillette does a sensitive skin one, which I
have
Gillette.
I have a Schlick sensitive skin. It's very, very thin. It's called the twin blade. It's a disposable. You know, it's very tiny, very thin, very lightweight, and it just works for. I've been using that razor for God, I don't know how long, and I don't shave that often, anyways. I shave probably. You know, if it's the weekend and I'm off, I may not shave at all. Sometimes, you know, with my job, I don't go to shave. I only shave when I really feel I need to, you know, if I'm going out to a special event or I feel like taking some pictures of myself because I'm full of myself that day. I don't know, you know, that maybe I'll shave, but I didn't shave today. You can see, you know.
Or if you got a hookup, right?
It depends. Now we're going down a whole different avenue now. It depends on what the hookup is, you know.
I want you to realize that when I shave my whole body, and because you bring up a good point, a time thing, I want you to realize this, people out there. When I'm shaving my body, it's usually about, I do it every, say, month and a half. I've been, so basically the reason why I shave my whole body down to nothing is because it's going to grow
Oh
back.
yeah, it's what I
So
hope so, right?
yeah, well, it will. My hair still grows back, and so within 2 weeks, I've already got like a stubble, and the stubble doesn't hurt. Just to let you know, by using the baby powder, it just, to me, I'm telling you, I'm 100% behind baby powder. Johnson, their baby powder. Yeah, people say it causes cancer or whatever, but I'm telling you, it is the best thing for razor bumps, just to have smooth skin. And I mean, you can use a lotion now. There's lotions that you can use, but I'm old school.
I don't know. Is that old school? I don't remember anybody shaving with baby powder, but I guess it could be.
Yeah.
But I mean, old school as far as using a
Yeah.
razor. Hey, I can't remember the last time I used a razor. Actually, isn't that weird? I probably manscape. I manscape when I feel I need to. Obviously, if you go like, I don't know, say a month and a half or even 2 months, it's time to get down there because it's just, you don't even want to look at it yourself. But if you're, not going on a date or have anything going on sexually, well, then you can let it go for a little bit, take a chill pill. You know what I mean? So unless you're going to the
Right.
beach, you want to get that bikini area set up or whatever. But yeah, so I mean, it's like my hair. I don't even cut my hair that I should, I guess people go like every 4 weeks or something like that, 3 or 4 weeks for a haircut. I probably go every 4 or 5, just because my life, you know what I mean? But I wish I should go more often, but who really has that time, it just seems. But it's the same as down there. I think I probably shave around about the same amount of time you do, in about a month, I think.
Yeah. Well, when I start to see gray hair down there, and because I'll say it, I'm 54 years old, and my bald hair there's some grays down there. So I say, you know what, it's time to shave.
Listen, I don't wait nobody's 4 weeks to see the gray. And I see it, it's snip, snip. Yeah, I got the scissors on the desk, baby. Oh, no, you don't. Boom, boom, boom. Listen, I am not ready for that yet. Maybe a couple on top, but not anything on that bottom. No. Can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do ear hair. Can't do nose hair. No, that is a sign of aging.
Nose hair I try to do every other week or so, because nose hair grows back. It's not pretty when you see somebody's got nose hair growing out their nose. On their ears, too. Oh, yeah.
My little trimmer for the old nose and ears. It's great. See those little pen ones from Bell and Howell? You see it?
Who's it by?
Bell and Howell. Great time.
Bell and Howell. It's funny you bring that up. Let me check to see who I have.
You can get these things. This is the thing about this stuff is like things like this. These little items people don't realize. I don't know anybody else. I'm not wealthy. I love shopping at TJ Maxx or Ross or what's the other one?
See, I have a little set. Look here. Mine is it's a wall too, just like
3-in-1.
How you say that, right? Yeah. For the eyebrow, because I don't like now my eyebrows because it's got a guide to it. My nose, and then my ears. It's the wall. I love wall products.
There you go.
So shout out to wall.
I just go simple. It's in my bag. It's like a little cone. It looks like. Where's that? There, it's right there. It's like a little cone. It's kind of quiet.
Yeah, mine's the same way. And I'll tell you, for my razors that I use, and I want to do this huge shout out because they are from Boston. That's Gillette, and Gillette does a sensitive skin.
The best a man can get.
Best razor in the world,
right? The best a man can get. There you go. So, let's see what's next on the chopping block. By the way, I have.
Oh, hey, let me tell you. I'll give you something.
Tea.
So I don't know if you've been paying attention to Facebook or anything, but they put the Rockefeller Christmas tree up, I think, or it's going up soon. Blah blah blah. No, here's a little tea. The tree is from West Africa.
Yes, I heard. I did see that.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that, though. I don't understand why they can't just invest in a really fake, beautiful, big one. I mean, these trees being chopped down. I'm one for nature. I really don't like when these trees get chopped down like that. After all those years it took to grow that sucker, then you take it down and it's gone.
Yeah, but they're tree farms. They're tree farms. So the thing that's interesting about
a tree like that size, you're not wrong.
Well, are you ready? The story about the tree was, I guess, the guy had planted it for his wife who had passed away. So it was kind of like, I think she passed away during COVID, so she couldn't have like a a real funeral because we were all social distancing. So this was a recognition of life and beauty, and so it was something that because I know there was he wanted cards being sent to him, so he actually planted a tree for his
So it
wife.
took
So I
how
think,
many years to grow it?
well, I would assume they were married for I
Cobra
mean,
was
don't quote me on this, but
it was during Cobra, which was
50 years.
2019, wasn't it?
Well, that's when she passed away, but he had planted it prior to that.
Part of that. All right. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I don't know. Maybe it does take. Maybe fir trees grow faster than normal trees. Maybe they do. If that's the case, then great. Then I can see them taking it down. But I'm not fond of people chopping down trees when they really shouldn't. It's like when you make room for new highways or whatever. But it is what it is. But anyway,
they're tree farms.
Yeah. So it's in Stockbridge. That's great. I mean, that's. I saw that. Gave me memories of home.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I won't put up a tree like you. I mean, I haven't put up a tree actually since my mother had passed away.
I'm not putting up a tree. I'm not even decorating. I got little lights in my window. That's about it. About as far as I go. My birthday lands on a freaking Wednesday. That doesn't do me any darn good. Is it Wednesday?
What is it, the 18th?
Yeah. 18th. Yeah, 1 week before Christmas. So that's gonna, whatever. What am I gonna do anyway? I still don't watch a movie. Oh, the lonely. So what else is on the chopping block? Let's go. Come on. Give it to me.
Well, Shawn Mendes. Shawn Mendes
What's that?
is releasing his new album.
Who?
Shawn Mendes is releasing his new album.
Okay, we're going back on Poor Sean again? Poor Sean.
Well, no, I'm not going that. I'm actually giving him props because I listened to the whole thing. He does Hallelujah, which is beautiful. And then he does this song called The Mountain. Check out his new album.
I heard that.
Purchase it.
I heard that. Poor Sean.
mean,
I wonder, is he getting more publicity because of this? Is he or isn't he? Or has he just always been a hot item? You know what I mean? And makes you wonder now,
Well, it's interesting because if you look at the Taylor Swift, Swiftie and Kelsey, I mean, they kind of dropped off. Like before, they were everything. Now they kind of dropped off. So I think people go through these cycles of, like Madonna did. You have to reinvent yourself because his last album was a couple of years prior to that. Before he was, after him and Cabela, they broke.
I hope that he doesn't come out. I hope that whatever it is that his sexuality is, that he leaves it to himself. I would like to see a star just defending their right to privacy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They should not be the minute, because I gotta be honest when it comes to Shawn Mendes, I would swoon over him because he's so deliciously hot, but that's because I thought he was straight. It's funny how when someone becomes gay, all of a sudden I'm not attracted to him as much anymore. Isn't that weird? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wonder.
It's like Stan Smith. I thought Stan Smith was hot, especially when he lost that weight. You know what I mean? With that British accent and all that. I just thought he was adorable. Then he got crazy. Poor Sam. And now that went out the window. You know what I mean? It's weird, because when I saw Shawn Mendes, what was that video? I forgot which one it was, when he had his shirt off and he was laying on his bed or whatever. I mean, it's funny. I never thought to myself, "Oh, could he be gay?" That never, when I look at people, that never dawns on me. Anyways, like I've said to you before on our last podcast, why would it? You know what I mean? Why would it? Why would I say, "Oh, I wonder if he's gay"? And what does that matter? You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
I think it's the catch.
Huh?
I think it's the catch. I think that when people if you want something and you can't have it, so because they're straight. I think it's all about the catch. It's the game. I mean, this as well as I know it. I mean, and we have these, gaydar. We call it gaydar, where we think, oh, okay, I think this one's gay, or he could be had. It's almost like a challenge. It's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
So if you try to,
it is. But it's weird though. Now what was I going to say? God darn, gosh, I just forgot it. I don't know. I just wish this never came up with him because it just seems like I'm not, you know what I mean? It doesn't make much of a difference. I don't want to say, oh, now that he might be family, I'm going to watch more of him. I'd rather, remember we talked about this before and it's on the newspaper. I'm giving a shout out to my blog. about new artists that are coming out in the LGBTQIA community. And I showed you some of them. I sent you some videos of these people. You know, Grant Kanoki, Mike Taviero, excuse me, Mike Madrano. Those two are bisexual or pansexual, which we'll get into that in some episode. But knowing what their sexuality is already from the beginning and then producing music that is about their sexuality is awesome. So my attraction is there from the start. I'm like, oh God, that man's hot. You know, he's bisexual. Wow, man, look at him. He's freaking fierce. You know what I mean? I love it. So it's weird how if you it's not like they came out and said, oh, I am. They just were them. The songs they sung and all that, it was obviously an assumption. If he's saying he and he, well, you know, he's not talking about him and neighbor, right. You know, he's talking about him and boyfriend or something like that. But anyways, it just seems, it's weird how the mind can play that different, your mind can be differently attracted to things. You know what I mean? Like Shawn Mendes in one case, and then this guy over here who I know is gay. It's different. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just completely weird, you know, when it comes to sexuality. But I know, I find that to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, Jason Mraz, they said he was bisexual. Lady Gaga, I mean, bisexual. What is bisexual? I think bi is you just basically, you don't have a, you know, you can sleep with this one or you can sleep with that one. Is that what bisexual is?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. A friend of mine asked me that yesterday. We were out having coffee. He has said to me, we were talking about, you know, again, the Shawn Mendes topic, which I don't know why that's in everybody's mind, but it is. And I said about one of the singers, I think Mike Taviero, is pansexual. And I know that people always go, well, what are these words? What do they, I guess we're gonna hit on it. Why not? We're already here. So, and I guess these words, people get confused because there are so many of them. But what I realize is that it is pansexuality, if I believe it to be correct, is it's not the physical that you're attracted to. It's the emotional and the compassion of a person. So you don't care if the person is male or female. If you have something for them, a feeling, a connection that just sparks you, then you're there. I believe that's pansexual. I believe. I could be wrong. Bisexual, on the other hand, you know, if you know, well, I know bisexual men, maybe you do as well. I've had my share of bisexual men. I adore them, but they can be a real pain. They really can. And the thing about them is most bisexual men that I have met have been more prone to saying, oh, I'll sleep with you, but I can never fall in love with you. I can never go out with you. You know, I'm into women. So that's mostly what I find from bisexual men. They're I don't want to say 50-40. They're probably more like 60-40 or, you know what I mean, 60% more female. I mean, they want, I don't know, I never really asked a bisexual person, and I guess I should do this sometime, as to what makes them attracted to a man. That's a good question. I should ask a bisexual that one day. You know what I'm saying?
I had a situation, an incident where this guy was, I mean, he's younger. He was, you know, in his, you know, late 20s, but he said to me, you know, we meet. And, I mean, it's interesting. He wouldn't let me he wouldn't let me perform on him, but he wanted to touch me. And then he turned around and said, well, I'm not gay. And I'm like, well, wait a minute here. You're grabbing onto my Johnson and you're doing your thing and you're getting aroused and you're having fun, because I can tell you're aroused. So you're not gay. So then what are you? And he's just like, oh, I just want to be, you know, want to see other things. And I'm like, well, you're experimenting.
Exactly.
You can be bisexual.
Right. Well, no.
That would be bisexual.
No, he could possibly be pansexual. You know what I'm saying? Well, we're not pansexual. There's more words. We need to look them up. There's pansexual, asexual, poly something, whatever. There are so many, it's not even funny. And to read them, you almost think they blend, but they don't. You know, I can understand pansexuality. I truly can. I'm not pansexual. I'm definitely gay. Men all the way. Hey. But
right.
But I can understand pansexuality. I can understand bisexuality. I don't care if a guy is more into girls than me. You don't want to get involved with a bisexual man anyways, as far as relationships concerned. That's just not going to ever, you're just not going to, don't bother. You know what I mean? Have your fun and get out. You know what I mean? But when people always say that, oh, you've touched a man's dick, you must be gay. I don't believe that that's necessarily true. You know what I mean? Because Because if you
What's
only
that
did it
other?
once, if you only did it once or twice, think of it as you were a kid, young, you were a little teenager, and you diddled your neighbor's son, because you're experimenting. Does it make you gay? No. A lot of guys grew up and they're perfectly straight, but they had that experience when they were younger. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So when the guy says they're not
right,
gay, well, and of course they give you denial also, but I highly doubt it. If they don't want you to do certain things to them, then they can't be completely gay because there's a blocker in there somewhere that says, "Oh no, that doesn't make me feel good. I don't want to do that." You know what I mean?
right.
So the same, it's
Yeah,
the same way that a lot of, you know what I mean. So it's like what you and I said the last time we spoke about understanding of people. Don't assume something when you don't really know that person and what their inner feelings really are. You know what I mean? So you don't know, and unless this person want to have a serious conversation with you and answer the questions that you might have asked him, like why, which they may not be able to do that. But I'm going to come back and say that again. That's an interesting point. I should ask a bisexual guy one day why it is that they feel like that. What attracts them to a guy and what is the reason? That would be, of all my years, I never thought to ask that question to someone. That's bizarre, huh? That's bizarre.
well, I think it goes back to your childhood because I mean, your father, you loved your father, and I'm not doing a dad and son thing, but I'm just saying, when you're younger, I mean, you love your mother. I love my mother, so I can love women. I mean, not
Of course you
sexually,
love
but
them.
I think that's
Absolutely.
it's a it's a feeling of men bond, and we know this. We have these male bonding outings, and I what I feel because we don't want to shame another man, and if you're not if you're a man you don't cry. I mean that's not true. I
Absolutely.
mean men have feelings, and I think when we share, like when a guy finds another guy that he can be truthful and honest with, I mean, it is like a relationship. I mean, it's a relationship. It's a trust.
And it's funny you say that because when I was younger, many, many years ago, I had this friend, I won't say his name, and he was going to, well, we just became very good friends, but he was straight. Absolutely. But he adored me, adored me. Didn't want to be apart from me. Always loved hanging around with me. And we drove, this is when I was told you about going to Virginia, because he started at a baseball farm. He was going to be a baseball player. Ugh, the man was flawless from head to toe. Absolutely. The most beautiful thing you've ever seen. And we traveled from Massachusetts to Virginia in my old car. And when he was tired, he laid his head on my lap, believe it or not. He was very emotionally attached to me, but not physically. And so it kind of jumps on what you were saying. Isn't that where we had this bond? I mean, nobody could harm me. He wouldn't let them. I was special to him. It was the strangest thing. I loved it. I don't know where he is today. I wish I did know because he was and it's funny how that memory is still in me. That memory is still in me of him putting his head on my lap, just super straight, way taller than me, gorgeous. The blonde, I think he was blonde and blue eyes. Oh God, man, you know what I mean? Those your youth, the things that you've gone through. I mean, it's amazing how I haven't forgotten that. I wonder why I haven't forgotten it. Was it that memorable in my life or was that bond that special that I remember it? Isn't it weird?
Yeah, well, it is. It's going back to because I have a guy friend, and he's just a friend. We've never had sex, but he wants to come over and sleep, and because he just wants to be held. I mean, and
Really?
literally just wants to be held. And that reminds me of our youth when we would go over our friend's house and spend the night. We'd sleep together in the bed, and it wasn't
Right.
sexual because we didn't even know we were gay. Well, I knew I was gay, but people say they didn't know they were
Right.
gay. But you feel that aura of that energy, that attraction, and I think that's what when you say bi, it's that energy that you feel from somebody. I mean, it speaks more than words. Energy, like sometimes I can walk into a room and I can feel somebody's energy from across the room, and sometimes it's really good and it's powerful, and you're like, ooh. And then I think that's the attraction. So it's like a magnet. But then there's the other energy where you're like, oh, okay, let me turn around and walk away from this person because this energy is
Mm.
off.
I know that feeling.
So when we say bisexual, I think it's an energy, and I think because we are all energy, so we feel it, and if we are exuding it, and it's um, pheromones, or right? Is that what that word is?
Mm.
Is that the right
That's
word?
my word. Yeah.
Pheromone. Yeah. So when you think of energy, it's got to be like the same. It's not a smell, but it's a feeling, and you can feel it. Your heart goes like pitter patter. You feel that, your heart beats because when you see you're in Home Depot and there's that hot guy with his little son, and you're like, ooh, I'm like, oh my god.
I see
So
him every now and then at the gym, and you're like, oh my god, you know what I mean? But you're right. You get that little, yeah, it automatically comes to you. You feel it. It's weird. You know what I mean? That little connection. Yeah, no,
And it's okay.
it's a,
It's okay, right?
yeah.
I would think that as a man, as a straight man, if you feel that energy from another man, it's okay.
Hmm.
Because I get it from women. I do have energy from some women. I'm like, you know what? If I were straight, you are my type.
I never had that. I don't think.
No,
No. Yeah. And I slept with
really.
women when I was, when I first was trying to discover myself. I slept with two. Um, and I can't say that I didn't enjoy it, but I can't say that I did. Again, like that friend of mine, that straight friend of mine, those are in my memory. I don't know why. I always think it's strange, the things that we remember and the things that we forget, you know? Is it we always forget, is it we forget the bad, remember the good, or do we just forget, or do we just remember the things that had the most impact, whether they were bad or good? That must be it. That's got to be it. You know what I mean?
I agree
Because
with you.
I
I
can
agree
think
with
about a
you.
bunch of things in my past, and I'll be like, oh, because I was said something to my friend the other day, and he's like, you remember that? I was talking about my finger and this little scar, which I don't know if you can see it right here. I don't know why we were at this little flea market, and I bought some rings, and I was talking about how I can't put rings on this finger because it's got this big knot in it, and I told him how when I was a little boy, I was very boyish, and I had climbed a roof of this car wash in our neighborhood because we knocked a softball up there, and everyone knew I loved to climb. So I climbed this roof, but when I came down, I was bleeding, and all my friends said, "You're bleeding," and I said, "Oh my god, um, wow!" And it had this really deep cut in it, and my mother just bandaged it with one of those, what do you call it? She just took some bandage strips and she put them across and kind of stitched it. So I didn't go to the hospital, which I should have. But anyways, he was surprised that I remembered that. I remember that exact story.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? As to where this came from. That's bizarre. I can remember certain scars on my body, like the ones on my knees. They were when I was a kid and I skid on my bicycle. It's but you had a lot more memories in your life than that. So where are the rest of them? Right? It's weird.
Some people repress them, some because some of them are bad. So I could see that where somebody is actually taking. I mean, I had a situation where I had a memory of I was on my back and I saw this light and I could hear a woman talking and I didn't and I was cold. I was very very cold and I could see the light up in the ceiling. It was in the ceiling. Well, to me, it was in the ceiling, and I heard a voice saying, it's okay," and I was talking to my mother about this when she was alive, and I said, Mom, I said, this is a really weird memory that I have, and it was like almost like a dream, but it was a flashback, like it would come to me every once in a while. And I said, I don't know where this is coming from, Mom, but it was really, really cold.
Hmm.
My mother kind of sat there and she was thinking and thinking, and my father, here we go, this is the memory. My mother said to me, this can't be possible because you were only like 3 or 4 years old. I said, but Mom, how do you remember this? She said, well, when you were a child, your dad used to tear up the house. So I would gather all the kids, I'd put them in the car, I'd put you in your car seat. The light was on in the car, and here I am looking up at it was cold in the car, but my mother, because my father was tearing the house apart, would bring us out to the car and she would either A, go drive around or she'd go find some spot because she was protecting us from my father. And my mother's like, how the hell do you remember that? You're 4 years
Mm-hmm.
old. And I think that we remember whether it's tragedy or
Right.
it's something,
Like I said, what had the most impact?
whatever had the most impact on our lives, right?
Wow, it's
So
funny to think about
I,
that.
it, yeah, it's a scary for actually I was 4, so I don't remember my father doing this. I mean, my older brothers probably do, but all I remember is that light looking up, and the light was the car light in the car, because she had the interior dome on, and I'm thinking, why? I don't know how I remember this, but and you just sat there and she said, it's got to be
Yeah, the
that,
mind is a crazy thing. It's very powerful. You know what I mean? It's very powerful.
right?
But now we
So,
said that it's just, I guess if you try to recall a memory, you can think of it. Because now that we're talking about memories, my mind's going crazy, and I'm thinking of all these things now in my past. So I guess you can recall them. They still have an impact, So it's like a little computer. You can hit a little key, it's stroking up, so here comes this little folder full of memories. It's kind of so that kind of happens. But it's weird how ones come up at a certain time, though. You know what I mean? You could be thinking of something out of the blue, and it just comes up. So that's that's the strange thing. Why did we get on this about memory, anyways?
I don't know, but it goes. I mean, if we think about this with mental health these days, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they are memories coming up and they're reminding you of tragedy or the
I'll never
happiness or
forget.
sad, whatever the memory is. It's why people will usually go, take on, a drink or smoke or whatever they do to to try to escape from that reality. And I think in our first podcast we talked about, we're all going through something, so we should just share and be nice because you don't know what
Right,
that other person is
right.
going through or has been through.
You never do. You never do. Or is still going through. You know what I mean?
Or still
Yeah.
going through, right? Yeah.
I mean, that is, yeah, that's the truth. Especially, well, I don't know. Now all of a sudden I've run out of steam.
Well, that's okay because we must have been on for an hour. It's funny we can sit here for an
No,
hour. It's almost been an
we're
hour.
at 45 minutes, which is, and it's funny how we
Yeah.
talk about that. And that's what I think it makes our podcast so unique, because we just grab on a subject and chat about it. And we even say how long we're taking. We speak about, you know what? We're real. That's the thing about Peter and Polly. We are real people. Powerful and persistent.
And that is,
Playful and
yeah.
problematic.
Go ahead.
Is that a word? Problematic, that's a word. Yeah, we're problematic, all right. But no, I mean, it must.
Or I'm a problem solver.
Yeah,
I like to. I'm a big person. When I think when we have a situation like somebody taught me this. I don't know where I learned it from, but are you part of the problem or part of the solution? And there's people out there that will see something like, the light is out. And I'm like, oh, let me go change the light bulb. So what do you think? Do you think, A, are you going to fix it or are you just going to sit there and bitch about it?
Usually I'd fix it.
And right. In this world, I think people will look at something or look at somebody or look at their lifestyle and say, oh, this, and this, and that. And it's like, you know what? Why don't you just say, oh, well, I can help them do this. Or, maybe they should give them an idea, because I'm all about, what, if you can teach me something, if I can learn something today, it's a good day.
It's a good day. They say that you learn something new every day. I don't know how much truth there is really to that, because if you stopped and thought about each day of your life, or even today, what did I learn today? Well, yeah, I did learn today because we chatted. So yeah, I learned some things. So I guess, when you think about it like that, wow, you go, okay. Because the funny thing about thinking is you'll think for one moment about something that you want to think about again the next day, but the next day comes and you don't remember the thing that you wanted to think about. Get that? Do you know what I mean? Like right now I was thinking about how you learn something new each day. So now, unless I write it down on a piece of paper, when tomorrow comes, I'm not going to recall if I learned anything new on that day. And it's funny, these are all these theories you should test out. Because that's what people say, the old cliche. You learn something new every day. But do you truly? And maybe you do. We just don't. Again, it's like everything else. We never really stop to think about that because the mind's a complex thing. We don't stop thinking about that. But I might try to think about that to see if I learned something new. I did today. Will I tomorrow? I don't know. Tomorrow only tells, right? Do you know what I'm saying? It's bizarre.
I write things down. I mean, when I go to the grocery store, I have a list. I cannot go to a grocery store without a list because I know I'll forget something. I mean, our minds are in so many places, and we're trying to do this, multitasking.
Mm-hmm.
We know multitasking. Some, in business, multitasking is good or multitasking is bad. But it's something where your mind it's in throwing off these, lightning bolts here and here. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. I got to call this one. I see people like I've got a couple of friends that got 2 cell phones. I'm thinking, how the hell do you live?
I don't have 2 cell phones.
I mean,
thank God, my one's enough. But I'm the same way. I write lists. What was I gonna? There was something I was going to. Oh, I don't know. We'll get on that in another podcast. Technology and the way the world runs today. You know what I mean? But yes, I connected to my phone. I mean, it has everything. It goes off with alarms. It does. I mean, if it wasn't for it, I mean, that's one thing you will not leave the home without, and it's terrible. But you won't. You might get your car keys when you head out to your car, but your phone will be in your damn pocket though.
Right. That's the truth. People, I mean, all the time. I will go to work, and because
Yeah.
I mean, my job, I drive, so I want to be careful. And they talk about, if you're going to get on the phone, pull over,
Right.
and then talk on the phone. I go to work sometimes, and actually many times, my phone's shut off. I don't turn my phone on at all unless I'm at lunch. And then after lunch, I turn it right back off. And people get mad. Why do you shut your phone off? Because I cannot be distracted because of what I'm doing. I am
Right.
focused. I'm delivering
Right.
now. It's
Your
dangerous out
job.
there
Yeah.
driving. It is dangerous. A lot of people are not paying attention to what the person in front of them. They're too worried about the
Right.
phone, what's going on behind them.
Exactly.
No, you need to be focused on what's in front of you.
Well, I'm one of those bad people. I do have my phone up on my dash on my little holder, but I have learned that I will wait till a stoplight before I text anybody if I have to. You know what I mean? And then minute light turns green, I put it back up there because I've learned many times, many times, I've looked up my text and said, "Oh," and I slam my brakes on. So I'm like, you know what? Not a good idea. So an ounce of prevention, as my mother used to say. So I don't no longer do that. Yeah, my phone is there because it just is, But I like it when I listen to your podcast. I listen to your podcast. You're like with Paul on the way to, when you throw those out there. I listen to it on the way to work, but it's sitting right there. I'm just listening. It goes to my car stereo. You know what I mean? So I don't have to. I'm not watching it. But no, I will. The reason why I say this is because I am such I'm guilty of texting and driving, but I've learned that really, if you have to text, wait till you stopped. You know what I mean? You might have a beep behind you. Someone's saying, "Why aren't you going?" But,
I've been that person before. Beating my
but
horn.
I mean, I'm not telling. Listen, listeners and viewers, do not text and drive. It is unsafe. But if you absolutely have to text someone, please make sure your car has stopped before you do so. Don't be driving while you do it. So, but that's all I got to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, what did the song pull over to my bumper?
Was that Grace Jones?
It was Grace. Look at you. You learned something today.
That's 2 times now. I'm a music person just like you. I love it. You know what I mean? I'm not always dancing. You can put that music on at 8 o'clock in the morning. I cannot have music on at 8 in the morning. It needs to be silent. Silent.
I was putting last thing, and then but I was putting plastic. I was winterizing my house, and I had DJ Paulo. I mean, he's got some sets on him, and I just put it on because SoundCloud, which I prefer SoundCloud because YouTube is a bunch of commercials. SoundCloud, I listen to it all the time because I will put something on and it'll play, and then it'll kind of go through. It knows what I like, so it'll play something else, which is kind of scary. The fact that this, computer knows what I like.
They do.
But music, I say music is the answer all the time because when I'm feeling down, I'm sad, I'm questioning something, I'm frustrated, put a little music on.
Yeah, it works to me, but I'm weird about that. I have to. I don't know because my mind is so busy. Maybe I have to have silence. I'm weird about a lot of things. I'm weird when it comes to eating lunch or breakfast. I will not eat something lunch oriented before 12 o'clock. Bizarre, isn't that funny? I haven't done that for I can't even tell you how long. It has to be 12 o'clock for me to eat a ham sandwich or pasta. Anything before that, it's got to be something to do with bread, like toast or a bagel or a muffin. Isn't that the strangest thing? And I'm kind of the same way with music. I only play it. Music to me is, like you said, it's emotional. You know what I mean? I play it when I need something. Like I can't say I play it when I'm happy. I can't say I play it when I'm sad. I don't know when I play it. I just know that I can't do it first thing in the morning. It's to me, it's too much. I don't want my mind to be thinking that early in the morning. I want it to be chilled out. So I won't listen to it. Like even right now, I probably won't put any music on until, I don't know, I might not put it on at all today. Isn't that weird? But you listen to it all the time. Don't you?
I do. But you're on social media like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, but you won't put music on.
Why do you think I'm on at 5:30 in the morning? Because it's quiet and peaceful. And I can think. Listen, this brain, it may be tiny on the outside here, but it's got a lot going on in there. It's constant. I got to have the coffee in front of me. I got to have the social media open. And I might sit there for like even today, before the podcast, I said to myself, what the heck did I do? I've been on this thing since 5 a.m. and I've done what? Oh, I put up one cover photo and I posted a little coffee meme. And then that was it. I'm like, all that time you could have done, and I'm like, well, you could have done what? It's your day off. What would you have done? You know, I always feel guilty for not being as productive as you should have been. But you know what? It's weird how we'll just talk about this really quickly. It's like weekends, like you know what I mean? Weekends, they're supposed to be R&R. But at the same time, weekends also give you the opportunity to do the things you're unable to do during the week. You know what I mean? Because of your job. Like my job takes up so much of my time that when the weekend comes, as much as I want to sit on my behind, I would love to sit on my behind. And I did a little bit this weekend. I also feel slightly guilty if I didn't accomplish something, if I didn't complete a task, if I didn't finish something. You know what I mean? So it's weird. And I hate that because I would love this, and I would love to be wealthy and be able to sit on my butt all the time. It would be great. Well, maybe it wouldn't. I might be bored. But do you know what I mean? It's like it's just weird. It's just weird when you know you've got to do something, you don't do it. You know?
Well, you know what I do honestly is that I mean, because I usually always have Sunday off and then one day during the week. This happened to be my long weekend, but my priority was two things. It was to get all my house winterized and cleaned. I mean, and it's the two simple priorities in laundry. I should say
I did
three.
my
I mean, they've got to be
Exactly.
done. They've got to
Yeah.
be done. If I don't do them, then there's
Exactly.
then
There
I
are
say,
some
okay,
things that you do have to do. You can't put them off much lazy as you want to be. Laundry's one of them. I do my laundry once a week. So, yeah, you do have to kind of do your laundry. I mean, I don't. I have enough clothes in this closet, in this room. I could probably not do laundry for a month. But I do laundry. It's crazy. We were talking about that, my friend, the other day. It's like, we were talking about laundry, and I said, yeah, I probably could go a month without doing laundry. I seriously probably could. You know, I mean, it's not even a joke. I'm not going to try that because that's a lot of clothes. Yeah.
When I see it, if I see it over the laundry basket, I freak
Oh,
out.
God,
So
it's
I
never.
got to
It's
do it.
never. I just did. Here, I'll pull it. Hold on a second, everybody. It's only half full, but that's all clean already. Yeah, so, you know what I mean? It's basically underwear and socks and, you know, the stuff you
So
change
your
daily.
clean clothes are sitting in a
Huh?
basket.
What's that?
Your clean clothes are in a
Yeah.
basket.
I just did the laundry.
Oh, see, those go from the dryer to my bed. I fold them and put them away.
Yeah.
I've got to put them away. I can't.
They'll stay there. I'm guilty of that. Maybe they'll stay there until I feel like folding them.
Until you want to put a pair
But
on.
no, there's the thing. It's only underwear and socks, really. So I don't fold. I do fold them, but I don't fold them. You know what I mean? They're not something that when you put it on, it's going to be wrinkled. But if I'm washing a shirt, such as this one or something like that, when I pull it out of the dryer, I will lean it over the basket because when it comes to the room, it gets laid down and put up. So I do put up my clothes that are, you know, because, you know, I love clothes. But my underwear and socks, you know, they'll sit there, like I said, until I need a pair. And I'm like, where's that blue pair of underwear I wanted to wear? I'm like, oh, yeah, wait, it's in the basket.
You want a true story? My underwear in my drawer, color coordinated.
Oh, my God.
They start from rainbow, Roji bib. I mean, that's retailing me, but they literally go in color because if I want to wear blue underwear, all the blues are together. Purples, I'm
As
that way.
much as I'm a systematic guy, and it's so weird, I have 2 sock drawers and 1.5 underwear drawers, and they're stuffed. And they're not color coordinated, and you would think I was a neat, I'm an I can't never want you to say that. I believe I'm an organized person. Am I neat? Well, I used to be, but when it comes to my drawers, it's funny. I will just, because I've got so many. When they're clean, I'm like, in the drawer it goes, socks, in the drawer it goes. Now, they have a specific drawer they go in, you know, crew socks and socks you wear with sneakers and all that would go in one drawer. Dress socks and socks that, you know, that go with shoes and whatever, go in another drawer. All my underwear, which don't even ask me why we've been on this subject, but all my underwear have now become boxer briefs. I used to be a trunk guy. I very rarely wear bikinis. Not bikini, but briefs. Very rarely. You know, it's weird. I wear underwear according to what I'm going to do. And I have no idea how I became a boxer brief guy. That's just bizarre. Because I used to not stand them. Now I love them. I don't know why that is. You know? I don't.
Yeah, I have all. I have both. The only ones I don't like is the trunk because they ride
I
up anyways.
love
and turn
trunks.
into
I
a
just haven't
routine.
bought a pair of trunks in a long time. But I guess because they're comfortable. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's we'll have to hit on that one. The underwear wars one of these days. And yes, we now I speak of that really briefly. When are we going to do the podcast on lube?
Okay, we can do that next week. I still haven't heard back from the vendors. Gun oil.
God, I don't know.
Yeah,
The things in our life.
Lube.
So, well, Polly, Manscaping 101 has been conquered. Speaking of it,
and now I got to go finish my
yeah, speaking
windows.
of it, I think I have to go manscape actually.
Yeah, go
I,
shave
I
that
was in a
houdini.
partial the other day, a quick mo, you know what I mean? I don't know why I was lazy. I should have finished it.
Oh,
So maybe that's one of my projects today.
I did the full Monty.
I,
I'd show you, but we'd get banned.
that's for a whole nother channel. So, all right, Paulie, I'm out, you know?
Namago.
Until next time, folks, don't forget, we're here every Sunday, I guess, unless we get crazy and decide to do a Saturday. But I know you tried to do that yesterday, but listen, like with me, it's like that person who invited me to brunch. I got plans on Saturday. I can't just go do a podcast.
I don't have. I literally sat home and I watched. You know what I watched? Gladiator, because Gladiator 2's coming
And
out.
plus, you were not normally off on Saturday, but so you were off. So you know what I mean. But me,
No,
I usually run out with my friend and have coffee, and then we hit the gym, and then you know what I mean. That's kind of like my thing. So as I was saying, yes, folks, Sunday at some point when my lazy butt gets it up on Spotify and YouTube, which I'll do as quick as I can, you will be able to hear all the wonderful and crazy things that we have spoke about. So until then,
yeah. Don't forget to tag Wall, Gillette, and yours just for promotional for Manscaping.
sounds good. Shall do it.
All right.
Peace out, baby.